Hi everybody, thank you for joining me today. So I'm doing my final video for the Scrapbooking with Me boutique guest design team, and we're going to be doing a mixed media canvas. And just remember, if you purchase at the.com, you have until the 31st to use the code TM10 to get 10% off of your purchase. So this is an 8x8. It's a burlap canvas, and I'm starting out with the clear gesso. And I wanted to start with the canvas part. I know it may look like I'm covering it up, but what I'm doing is trying to protect the basically the burlap underneath, because I am going to be putting a lot of stuff on top of it. So there are spots where I want the burlap to peek through and still hold its integrity. So that's why I did the clear gesso over it. It gives a layer of protection. So while the gesso is still wet, I decided to take the paper from the Kaiser Craft Bombay Sunset. I took one of the sheets and just cut a 6x6 piece and decided to like tear it up and put it into different spots along the canvas itself. On some of them I did put the clear gesso on the back and then laid it down, and you know, I'm just using it to help not only adhere it but give protection on the paper as well. So almost using it like how I think some people use like the Mod Podge, stuff like that. So once this is on, we let it dry. You can see the burlap coming through. I'm taking this Prima stencil and I'm going to use the embossing paste and create more texture by putting this pattern in certain spots, not all over the canvas, but most of it. I wanted to leave some sections without anything on it. And then while that dries, I'm going to take the chipboard piece that's going to go underneath the picture, and I'm embossing it with the Nuvo embossing powder. This one it's the one I've been using the most. It's the glitter embossing powder, Gold Enchantment, that's what it's called, and I love it. It's just a little bit of gold peeking out, and it just gives a little bit of a highlight. So we're just going to heat that up and melt it. And oh, before I forget, in between the steps of doing the embossing paste and all that, make sure you clean your supplies, because you know, you don't want it to harden on that stuff. Okay, so now we're going to take our Color Bloom sprays. I'm taking this one is the Fairy Pond, and then once I kind of like spray this on and dab it around, you're going to see I'm going to kind of check with the photo on top and keep spraying just so I can make sure where the blue is laying. Then I'm going to take the Color Bloom spray. It's called Tea Stain. Excuse me. And I'm going to go around where the blue is and include that into the actual canvas itself too. So we're just going to spray, and all I'm doing is trying to get it to where the paper is there, that you can see some of the pattern, but it kind of fades to the background. And once I'm done and I'm okay with where my spray is, I'm going to start adding all my metal pieces. Excuse me. So now we're just going to glue those down on the corners. I have 2 corner metal pieces, and then I have some flower ones that we're going to lay down after I put down the chipboard piece that we heat embossed. So I'm just using the 3-in-1 glue. This one is actually, it's part of my stash. I think we had it in the boutique at one point, but I don't think we have it there anymore since we got our glitter glue, which is what I'm going to put on the chipboard piece right now, which is really a good glue. So if you guys have never used it, you need to get it before the winter months, because when it comes to the winter months, they don't ship it because they don't want to mess with the integrity of the glue, which is really awesome. But you want to make sure you stock up, okay, before the winter months start coming. Alright, so we're just gluing down some clear glass pebbles, and then I'm putting down the rest of the metal pieces. I'm saving the flowers for last. I'm just trying to check my placement. I have my phone off to the side because I was using it to check my placement of everything. And once I had all the metal pieces and the clear drops glued down, I'm just taking some white gesso and I'm coloring over it, because halfway through this I realized that the blue in my friend's dress in the picture, it was a little bit more of a darker blue. And since I had some alchemy paints, I decided that I would gesso the metal pieces and I would use a combination of the acrylic paint. So I'm going to use the Steampunk Copper and the Metallic Deep Waters. So it'll give that more of a deep blue instead of more of the ocean blue. So you can see those there. And the one I don't think I had even opened before, but all I'm doing right here is kind of letting the canvas dry up to this point, and I'm just adding the foam tape to the back of the heart picture, so that way I can add it once everything is done and ready to go. Alright, so I'm just checking, making sure everything is laying right and everything's going to wind up being good. And while I'm still waiting for some stuff to dry, I'm going to just use my hands and go ahead and put some of the copper on the clear drops, and then on all the metal pieces. And then excuse me, what I was doing was also kind of like wiping my hand along some of the embossing paste, so that way there would be hints of gold depending on, or not gold, but copper, depending on, you know, which way you look. So we got two metallics, that crockled piece that is underneath the photo, and then all the metal pieces except for the flowers. I'm using the dark blue, the Deep Waters color on the metal flowers, and then I'm also kind of adding it to the canvas as well, on like just brushing my fingertip along some of that basket weave that we did, so that way that kind of like sticks out, so it like it ties in all the blues and everything all together. And then once I was done with that, I'm gonna go ahead and add my flowers. So I took the backing off of the foam tape that I put on the back of the photo, and then we're just going to add the flowers to the canvas. And then I was thinking, of course, once I add everything, I'm like, I need some splatter. So I'm going to grab some black gesso. I covered the photo and I did my splatter with that. And then once I cleaned it off, I decided to use the, I have the opaque white from Copic, and I use that as well. I was going to splatter with gold, but I decided to just leave it, because those the metallic pieces that we already have on the canvas were enough. And I was just moving my phone out of the way to show that, you know, I did have the picture on there. But this is the canvas. It's done. I'm happy with it. I will probably get a title later on for it, only because I don't have one right here. Like, I would like one that says like Friends, or, you know, something like that, and then put that on and it'll be truly complete. But at least you guys got to see my process. Thank you so much for joining me. Make sure you hit the like, subscribe, and share button. And don't forget, because you only have until the end of August, if you go to scrapbookingwithme.com and you purchase, make sure you put in the code at the end at the checkout, put in TM10, so that way you guys get your 10% off, okay? They have a lot of great things that are in stock. Some Altenew stamps. My heart, I love Altenew stamps. So go over there, check it out, and have a good time shopping. And here at the very end, we have links to the last 2 guest design videos that I did. And of course, if you want to subscribe, just click on my photo. Thank you guys so much, and have a great day.